Segment number 2 with the Raspy Voice Kids, presented by Sandwich U on 461 High Street in Morgantown. King of the Fat Sandwich. You cannot be disappointed. Go there. Tell them the Raspy Voice Kids sent you. And, of course, we're brought to you by Shrinkables, the world's premier bulldog breeder.
Shrinkables!
Now, I also hate Pitt, a.k.a. Brandon Phoenix, one of the Phoenix boys, one of the Raspy Voice Kids. I'm joined, like I always am, by my brother Jeremy, J.N. Phoenix. But far more important than that, we are joined by the patriarch of the Grier family, Mr. Chad Grier himself. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, because I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on.
Oh, man, this is an honor.
We follow you on Twitter. You know, we see what you're doing, moving and shaking. We know you coach at high school. We know that you've been tapped to coach all-star games. You're a guy who has a very respected football mind. You're a person that people look at and they know that you understand how the game works. So what I want to know is, who is your favorite child?
That's awesome.
You're on the spot now.
Yeah, my favorite child was probably Bam Bam.
Oh, look at that.
He went with it.
All right.
I don't know what that means, though. You went with Bam Bam.
You're too young to know the Flintstones.
You're talking about the Flintstones.
No, I knew the flip. Okay, the Flintstones. Okay, gotcha.
I can't answer. I love all three of my boys, man. They're all incredible, great in their own way, very different. You think you raise them the same, they're all very, very different.
You know, what's funny is my parents, people would talk about who the favorite was. And on my dad's side of the family, and in there are different parts of my family where we know who the favorites are. Or, you know, my mom's side or my dad's side or pockets, cousins or whatever. But within our family, in our nuclear family, my parents never had any favorites. So I respect what you're saying, and I believe you. And with my 2 kids, I'm the same way. So I get it. But I do.
Funny question. That was good. I wasn't expecting that one. That was good.
I do want to go back to your football acumen, though, because no joke, you do have a highly valued football acumen. And a lot of people in West Virginia know you as Will's dad, but we know you as Coach Grier. We know that that's your real title. That's something that you are dedicated to. That's something that you've worked hard to cultivate. I want to know, how do you keep from being critical? How do you keep from being overly critical of Spav and of Dana Holgorsen when you're watching your son, whose life and career is in their hands?
Well, yeah, critical of Will is one thing. Critical of Dana and Spav is a separate thing. I mean, I think with Will, you know, we kind of grew up together, really. I mean, I was young when we had him, and man, you know, I remember going to church league basketball games. He'd be 3 years old, and he's sitting on the bench. Man, he's my little guy. I mean, we went everywhere together. I mean, we did everything together, and you know, it was cool for me to still be semi-athletic, at least when, you know, he was young enough to do some of those things with me. But you know, I'd go coach camps, and I remember he'd be sitting at my feet. You know, I'm working with high school quarterbacks, and he's just a little guy, and man, he'd jump in drills. I mean, he just had a passion for it, and you know, that was a pretty cool thing. But you know, I don't know, man. I've kind of talked myself into a circle here. I'm not even sure what you're asking. The question was.
I'm asking. I want to know. So you know football. Yeah. Like, so you coach kids whose parents think they know football.
Oh, critical thing. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But you actually know football. So how do you stand at Mountaineer Field, or how do you watch on television and not think, what in the world is Jake thinking, or what in the world? Why did Dana call? Like, how do you not do that as a father?
Why do you run the bootleg?
No, we're not going there. Not going there.
I'll go there. That was a great call. I love the call. I mean, Dana disagree, but I think it was a great call. I've seen Will make that play 1,000 times. I mean, that's just a freak thing. I mean, the way he landed, I believe that was God's plan, that he had. You know, that cemented for sure Will was coming back. And I think that was part of what's going to be special this year. And as bad as that was for that time and that moment last year, I think it's just going to be part of the setup for this year to be that much more special. But I'm probably more critical of Will, and I say critical, I mean in the term critique. I mean, when
constructively,
you know, I don't offer it up to Will anymore, but he's so knowledgeable. But you know, if he asked me, you know, I just know his game. I know his body language, so I try to see him before the games, and I'll just go say hey to him and watch him warm up. I like to be able to watch him warm up because I can just tell by his walk. I mean, the gait, you know, the pace of what he's doing when he's throwing. I just know when he's dialed in, and which is more often than not, fortunately. But he just, you know, for him, you know, I'll say, look, you know, I was up there a couple of weeks ago. We're watching some film, and And I'm saying, hey man, you're not really driving into that throw. You're off your back foot a little bit, but he can do. I mean, we were just watching tape of Aaron Rodgers, and he looks just like Aaron Rodgers doing the same thing. But nobody's criticizing Aaron Rodgers for it. But I'm kind of looking at Will, going, hey man, you probably got to plant that foot and drive that ball a little more. But when it comes to Dana and Spav, man, I think those guys have done such a great job for my son, not only as a quarterback but as a young man. That I mean, I don't have any criticism of them. And I've been the guy that calls plays, and when it works. Nobody. Well,
you're a genius.
Well, not even that. The player did a great job. When it doesn't work, man, that coach sucks.
Yeah.
Truth.
If Will scores in that bootleg against Texas, he's done 100 times, there's no conversation. Hey, man, great call.
I'm with you. Yes, you're right.
We got 9 guys in the box. Let's boot it out there and let Will be the athlete that he is and get in the end zone. I mean, just a freak thing. So there's no criticism for those guys. I think from day one, Dana has done everything possible to build a culture that we entered into that he'd already established of just blue-collar work ethic, teamwork, coaches get along, kids get along. And I'll tell you, that's not normal, as normal as you would expect and think it is. There's a lot of places where those rooms don't gel as well as they do in West Virginia. And I think that Dana's done a great job building that culture. And I think adding Spav was a move Dana made for Will. I think he knew that he needed a quarterback guy to help develop him. And so and Spav's come in, and he and Will connect so well on the field, off the field. They're both, Spav's a son of a coach. Will's dad, was a coach, and those guys enjoy going there and watching film. I go up to visit Will. He's never home. I mean, he works. He goes to the office, and he conditioning, treatment, lifts, practice, and then he watches every single play of practice, every drill, every 7-on-7 rep, every scrimmage rep. Not just him, but he watches it for Allison and for
Trey Lowe.
Trey Lowe, who is a great kid, by the way. And I watch him even trying to encourage and help those guys. I mean, it's just he loves the game, and he loves Spav and Dane. And I'm just telling you, there's nothing for me to ever be critical of. I'm forever indebted to those guys for what they've done to help develop my son as a player and as a young man.
We love hearing that.
Me too.
I remember my dad would talk about how he went from being Tony Phoenix, and my mom would say she went from being Crystal Phoenix to being the Phoenix boys' mom. I'm Brandon's mom. I'm Jeremy's mom. I'm Mike's mom or dad. Yeah. When did you go from being Chad Grier or Coach Grier to Will's dad or to Hayes' dad or to Nash's dad? When did that happen?
Long time ago. So long I can't remember when I wasn't somebody's dad.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you remember the moment?
I think it probably was with Will in Little League Baseball. We were going to a draft, and I don't know how young he was 8, 9, 10 years old, and I was coaching his little team to go in the draft, and they were trying to grade the players, and they said that they took Will out, and they said, we can't use him, we can't grade him. I mean, he's kind of in a league of his own. We'll grade everybody else, and then whoever's got the worst team will put Will on that one. I said, I didn't know. I mean, I was kind of new into this. I'm just kind of sitting there, and somebody goes, wait a minute, you're Will's dad, right? And it wasn't – from that point on, I felt like I was always Will's dad. And I was Will's dad until about 2014. And, Will's becoming this terrific, nationally recognized high school football player. And I wasn't Will's dad anymore. I was Nash's dad.
Nash took over.
Nash took over, and then it became, probably now as much as I'm Hayes' dad. Now, it will start to come back into favor more. It depends on the demographic. I mean,
you just got to get on Twitter and Instagram and see, because right now it's not close. He's still not close. Let's just be real.
In my world, like at school, I had one of the girls just popped her head in my office and said, hey, Coach, can you get your boys to come to visit school? And I asked, which ones? And he said, well, Nash and Hayes, either one or both. But, I worked the camp last weekend, and every kid, every parent, every coach there, how's Will doing? What's going on, Will? So I'm definitely nothing more than somebody's dad at this point.
Understood. Now, I'll tell you right now, the next time somebody pops their head in, make sure they know the Raspy Voice kids are available to make an appearance if that's what you need. You just let us know, Chad.
Real talk.
Come on, y'all down here. Come on to the Low Country. You'll love it.
I love the Low Country. That's where I had my bachelor party. They took me to Folly Beach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right down the road. Yeah,
we love it down there. We're actually, I know Charlotte's not Low Country, but we're going to be down in Charlotte for the game. We're going to do a podcast from down there, so hopefully we'll get to see you. I know you guys got your MountainGREER shirts.
Oh yeah.
So Excited to see you rocking the RVK. And
love it.
But
love it.
I know
Rob Van Dam. Like, y'all should like an RVK thing. Do you know who Rob Van Dam is?
Yeah, I know Rob.
RVK.
I know Jeremy had some questions he wanted to ask you.
No, I know you're from North Carolina and you raised your boys in North Carolina. And now, Will Grier's here as a Mountaineer and you support the West Virginia Mountaineers. My question to you is, real talk, when he moves on, we love West Virginia, but when he moves on, are you still going to be a Mountaineer fan? Are you going to be part of Mountaineer Nation?
All I've ever heard is once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer. So
yes, sir.
Amen.
I played at East Carolina, and honest to God, on my truck right now outside, I've got one East Carolina trailer hitch thing on it. I've got a West Virginia football helmet decal, a West Virginia sticker on top, and a West Virginia State Police sticker on the front. So I'm 3-1 in my alma mater. So
yeah,
I'm pretty blood's thicker than water. I love East Carolina, but I'm definitely a Mountaineer as long as y'all have me.
No,
we'll have you forever. We'll have the whole family.
Absolutely. That's what we love to hear. Here's the thing. We're Mountaineer Nation. We love West Virginia. We love the Mountaineer fan base, and we feel like we bring it every single week. You have been, like, you've seen your son, go to Florida and be part of Gator Nation in the swamp. You've also seen Morgantown. What's the difference in between the two fan bases that you've experienced?
Well, when we were at Florida, when they beat Tennessee late, and then the next week beat Ole Miss, they were number 3 at the time, and just come off beating Alabama. That was the loudest, most electric football environment I'd ever been in. It was different. But for the year and a half prior to that, it wasn't like that. So, I mean, and I've heard that that's what the swamp was like when Tebow was playing, and that was kind of the common thing. I think Florida's kind of experienced, some ups and downs like, a lot of places do, but it was a really, cool environment. But the passion and the intensity was palpable. The first game I ever went to at West Virginia was the Oklahoma game in the snow 2 years ago, and my wife and I.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, the electricity walking into the stadium and around, just leading up to the game, the snowflakes were big as silver dollars, and the band. I love a band. The band was awesome. They came out. I mean, everything was it was incredible, and that
was my son's first game.
Well, he wasn't playing me, obviously. It was his first game I'd ever seen in Morgantown.
No, I said that was my son's first game.
Oh, man. So what a great start, you would think, and then just, obviously didn't work out. But even then, what I took away from that game was that as bad as it felt, especially early, the fact is about 9 minutes to go, we dropped what would have been a pick 6 to make it a one-score game. I mean, the kids never quit. And whatever Dana said to those guys at halftime, and even came out in third quarter and went against us, but the kids kept fighting and kept competing. And I said, man, there's something here. And the fans that were there stayed engaged through the snow. I know they were disappointed. I know some people left, but man, the people were there. You could just tell there's something about this culture and this environment that, from my perspective, I loved. And I think Will he's loved it from the day he got there. So I mean, it's Morgantown to me, and you get one of those pretty fall afternoons, and it's packed in there, and every stadium you go to has got their little back and forth chant, but West Virginia, it's a little more intense, and people take it serious. And my boy, what's his name, Hayes, not my Hayes, but the dancing Hayes,
Charles Hayes,
and when we were there for that game, man, they were people went crazy. It was just, I don't know, man. I love being up there for games, love the environment, love the passion, the fan base. Love the way that my whole family's been treated. Love the way that Will's been treated, his wife and daughter. It's just it's a special place, man. It always will be.
Well, we appreciate that you love us the way that we love you. You should hear the way that people talk about you, their down-to-earth nature, just that you guys are salt-of-the-earth type people, that you guys are people of faith, you guys are people of hard work and value, and it shows. And it's everything the Mountaineer Nation is made of and believes in, and we're grateful that the Grier family is a part of it. So thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Man, really nice. Appreciate that. And I think that's the thing, man. It's just a good fit for all those reasons. I think that what's important to my family and to Will and all of us are the same kind of core values that's important to people in West Virginia, and not from there, but a piece of me is always going to be a part of that. A piece of my family is always going to be very connected to West Virginia.
Well, we love it. Like you said, once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer.
All right.
And like we say, cheers, beers, and Mountaineers. Let's go.
Hey, first game's back in hometown, man. We're going to have a bunch of MountainGREERs and Mountaineers and everything else there. That's going to be a fun one. Let's go get a big one to start the year with.
Well, we look forward to shaking your hand, Coach. We'll see you down there.
Likewise. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
And one more thing. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Let's go Mountaineers.
Let's go Mountaineers.
All right. Later on.